King's Jive, which is my little business, based in Watford. Doing street food events, we'd seen a lot of really cool vehicles, but we'd never seen it done from a little traveller. And we saw Betty, we saw various other Morris travellers, and from leaving Betty, I turned to my other half and to my father and said, she's the one. And within a week, we had purchased her, and I nearly drove her into the canal. The first time I drove her, but she survived. She was called Beatty, her number plate's BTW725B, and no one in my family pronounced it Beatty, so she became Betty, and it's Betty Weaver, which is her number plate, so it's perfect. Back in the day, there was a lot of swing and jive talk, and it basically is American jive talk for speaking English. It's the King's Jive, and we're a bit of a twist on American and English, and it stuck. Everyone English loves a good cup of tea. A slice of cake in the grass on a picnic blanket is a very, very English thing. I've got a bit of a liking for the 40s and 50s, but also, as well as just idolising the whole generation, I appreciate living now because we get to see it all and take the best bits. Betty's been brilliant. I get laughed at when I'm driving her, but also the customers are always like, does she still run? Yeah, I don't trail her here. I did 700 miles in her 2 weeks ago. You did 700 miles? Don't worry, I did it at 50 miles an hour and it took most of the week to do, but it's brilliant. Betty is officially Java Green, and as far as I'm aware, she got taken to a garage to be resprayed almond green, her original colour, and the mini garage had mixed the wrong colour for the wrong day, and he returned to Betty and was a little bit in shock, but he's very happy with it. And as soon as we saw the colour, we had to go and see it in all its glory, and it was just amazing. Betty was 50 on the 3rd of February this year, and we celebrated, and she even received cards and presents. The machine is a compact machine, which makes it a little bit harder work on our end because the pressure's not as consistent, etc. But it fits in perfectly. You couldn't have any bigger machine. All of our gear comes out, and usually we get a lot of other traders going, how did that all fit in there, watching us. Our tea and coffee is special to us, not only because my other half blends it, so we have an input into what tea we really do use, and we bag it ourselves in an evening, which is exciting. The farms that we're getting our tea from are all small farms, and we can tell you the names of the farmers, and we know the origin, and the process is more in depth than anyone doing what we do. And the coffee we're using is all from small batch roasteries. You try an instant coffee, which I haven't had in over half a decade, go me, and then you try it compared to a filter that's been lovingly cared for in a small farm and then been roasted really in small batches over here and then filtered by someone that knows really what they're doing. And you end up in this trap where all you want to do is know more about where your coffee and tea comes from, more about the process it's been through, and you just whirlwind out of control. And I'm still really learning to this day. They're part of what we do, not just something we get from someone to sell on to make money. It's more something we want to give everyone the experience of sharing and telling them everyone else's stories as well. Eventually it'll pay for me and Alex to go to Hawaii, fund our own little tea adventure and coffee adventure, and source our own tea and coffee, and serve that in return from the back of Betty.